Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome back to the Schools Championship for the second game of Pool A. We have Millfield School versus Wellington College. An absolutely massive game to continue on from Sedbergh, taking the win over Clifton at home 2 weeks ago. We took a week off last week, but it's great to have you back. My name's Ollie Johnson. I'll be taking you through this one today as we have two behemoth teams with great history behind them coming together here to have an almighty clash. Conditions today a little bit overcast, slight breeze down by pitch side, but otherwise seems like a good day for running rugby. Not quite the sun that we had up in Sedbergh a few weeks ago, but regardless, I'm looking forward to this one as the track looks absolutely immaculate as always here at Millfield. And that is the team who are home today. Talking through the team sheet, starting off with the front row, we have Sid Moore, Freddie Beasley and Matt Palmer from 1, 2 and 3. Good representation there from the Bath Academy. Sid Moore actually coming all the way from North Dorset. A lot of these lads being around that Dorset area. It's good to see them coming up through the ranks and getting a chance to represent at this high level. Into the 2 row, the engine room consists of Alfie Seeley and Ryan Flamingini. Into the back row, at blind side, we have Dylan Parry Cooper, Hamish Hendry, and the captain at number 8, Alex Yeasley. The back line goes from strength to strength. In the half-back positions, we have Oakley Neville and Sam Giel. And accompanying those in midfield shall be Freddie Lomas and Will Johnson. The back three is full of excitement. On the left side, we have Alfie Cheek. On the right, Harry Paul, who is actually new to the school this year. He's Cardiff born, I'm told, from the Millfield staff. And then finishing off at fullback is Archie Lowe. The super subs coming off the bench for Millfield today are Sam Lumsden and Keaton Hughes. I'm sure they'll be making an impact into the second half. We saw Sedbergh doing exactly that a couple of weeks ago at home. I'm sure Millfield will be looking for a similar sort of performance at first and secondly, result, as Sedbergh did run away with that one towards the end of last week's game. The away side today consists of one Jim Pridey, Ben Kutzi, the vice captain, representing from Brive over in France. And finishing off the front row is Oscar Horton, representing the Harlequins over in London. Of course, a London-based team. Into the 2 row, the engine room has Pippo Horrell of Bath and Ben Allen, also of Bath. A bit of chemistry brewing there all across the Type 5. Only one player not representing at academy level. That is the kind of standard you're going to see at these schools and hopefully will be reflected in the performance on the pitch. Across the back row, we have Zach Hayner at 6, Will Courtney of Quins at 7, and also the skipper up against the opposite captain in the number 8 position, Charlie McKay. We have the Bath Academy scrum half, Jack Thorpe, starting this one alongside Sam Watson-Nee. Into midfield, it's Dylan Hall partnered with Dan Bowen of Harlequins as well. And then finishing off, we've got another exciting back three. It's Tom Skinstead on the left wing, Rue Hill on the right, playing from Bath. And then finishing off at the back is Freddie Waters of Harlequins. And the class does not stop there Onto the bench, we have Tom Miners, Sam Guilford, and then both these lads representing Harlequins as well. A massive contingent here for Wellington. It's Jonty Wilson and Tom Chapman. As we watch the home team running out to a mass of players cheering them onto the field, they'll be rallying behind their boys here today, the Old Millfieldians, and what begs to be a very exciting game. Of course, we have recently had the very exciting announcement of the Schools Championship Invitational 15 that will be heading over to the Abu Dhabi World's School Festival to take on international rugby giants such as Paul Roux, as well as other teams from all over the world. It's an exciting prospect, and those players shall be picked from these games. So it's safe to say they've got a lot to play for today. The first thing first, of course, being the result in the Schools Championship, but then secondly is a chance to taste international rugby early on. But starting here, we have Wellington in their traditional black and yellow, kicking off from right to left to the red, green and blue of Millfield with their white shorts. And it's a safe exit to start this game. Composed, simple rugby, the start that any coach dreams of. Ball off the park, set piece. Let's have a chance to catch our breath early doors in this one. We can see the wind flowing across the pitch today. It is a blustery one from left to right. Interesting to see how that one goes, but definitely in the favour of Millfield from that first exit. Important first set piece. Millfield closing the gap early there. Referee has a word. None of that, please, lads. Got to leave space for a contest. And here it comes. Stolen at the front by Millfield. It's a great start, and they play straight into midfield, looking to get an early carry in and an offload as well. Even better, moving the point of contact early here from Millfield, resourcing that breakdown, and they go down the short side, stretching from edge to edge early doors. Back they come. Big carry from the hooker. Playing one out at the moment, and Wellington are up forward in defence. Not a whole lot of deception from Millfield, allowing Wellington to make some big tackles early door. It's another chop, but just manages to drive the legs, but he comes back for a second bite at the tackle. Forces the Millfield player back. Millfield doing well to hold on to the ball here, but going laterally, side to side, with no real forward injection. There we go. That's a bit of variation to get in behind the Wellington defence. There we go. Starting to move the ball a little bit more, but very predictable. And that Wellington player said, you know what? I know exactly where this is going. Let me shut this down real quick. Still only one or two passes, and Wellington are over the ball. Have they turned it? No. Referee says hands away. Millfield still retaining possession up into the double digits on phase count here. But Wellington just shutting the door straight in their face. Oh, a kick to nothing from the Millfield fly half. Sam Giel gives possession straight back to Wellington, but Millfield closed the door on them early doors. Really showing the physicality here early doors. Finding a bit of space on the outside though, go Wellington. All the way into the left winger's hands. That's Tom Skinstead. He'd ideally have a bit more space than that, but they retain possession regardless and are on the front foot to the opposition 40. Oh, intercept picked off by Flower half of Millfield. He wins the possession back for his team after giving it away sloppily. And it's a penalty to Wellington, a classic bit of rugby nose-through there at the scrum half, pretending that it was his own penalty. He knew better. He knew what's going on there, running away with the ball. But regardless, Wellington have a chance to pin Millfield back in their own half, and the wind carries that one way over the sideline. And it's an interesting first passage from Millfield, getting caught zigzagging, playing predictable rugby. And Wellington saying, you know what, lads, you carry on doing that. We're going to make our tackles and we're going to force an error. Ideally, in that situation, you see Millfield kick a little bit longer to try and really apply some pressure rather than a kick for nothing. But you just didn't see them setting that kick up early enough. And as you can see, it's resulted in a penalty back the other way. And they find themselves defending their own 22 with a catch and drive here from Wellington. Going to the cowshed's early doors. Slight spin off. Breakaway from the base. Oh, not a knock on the floor. Blindsided was the referee by all the players from the Mall. Going down the short side in the corner for an early score from Wellington. It's clinical. It's ruthless. One penalty into the corner they go. A brutal catch and drive to gain some yards. And then a little breakaway into the corner. What a start for Wellington, displaying a full box of tricks there to go a full multitude of defensive sets in a row. And when they had their chance to strike, they were lethal into the corner. Just Watson knee lining this one up from wide out. He does have the wind in his face on this one. Gonna have to give it a fair hit, try and keep it a bit low. Let's see how he gets on. Oh, he's drilled it, but just flies across the face. Unconverted score, but it's a 5-0 start for Wellington. Playing a complete game, going from defense to attack, and that's 1 from 1 from the red zone. Only 5 minutes gone though. Millfield restart the game, and it's not the kind of restart you want to see after just conceding a score. Back we come for a scrum down to Wellington. That ball not travelling the full required 10 metres. Another set piece here for Wellington. We saw them lose their first line out of the game, but clearly won the second and started to run away with it. Let's see how they go at scrum time here. We have a real good competitive front row from both sides here. 2 Bath Academy players from Millfield, a Breve player, a hooker for Wellington, and a Quinn's prop. But it's the Bath boys who get the push on and win the ball against the head. And it is the captain from number 8, skirting around the corner. Good carry through midfield, getting over the top of the tacklers. Now we're playing a bit more sensible rugby, but it's a missed hit kick down the channel of the fly-half, who runs it back all the way to his own 10. That's just a 10-metre gain for Millfield. But I believe they were under advantage. Or not. It's a scrum down to Wellington. It is scrum half. Oakley Neville to put this one in for the Wellington boys. Can they win this one? Yes, they can indeed. And it's the captain who plays the ball away to the scrum half. Looping around, gets the ball back, second touch, and plays out to the winger, who's in a bit of space here on the outside. Good covering tackle from the fullback, closing the gate. But Wellington have gained a good 20 metres, and they're on top. Well held, carrying that ball with pace, flat on the line. And Millfield fly off theirs, making a tackle, chop down low. Wellington back inside the Millfield 22. We saw what happened the first time. Good ball away. Oh, out the back door. What a piece of finesse. Bit of space for Skinstead, who just can't quite make the most of it. It's a brilliant covering tackle from the open side wing, Harry Paul. What a bit of skill from the Wellington fullback to throw that one out the back door. Archie Lowe, I believe it was. Not only showing the skill, but the confidence throw that one. No, look at it. It was a bit of a bounce pass, but sometimes they're the most dangerous in rugby. And what is dangerous is this line-out for Millfield back on their own 5. not at all where they want to be from having a restart all of 2 minutes ago. But it's their turn to turn the screw at the catch and drive. It's the big number 8, the skipper, leading the charge. But Wellington do a job. That is a win in their book, I'd say. Millfield have managed to escape the clutches of their own try line, but I'm sure Wellington will come back with a vengeance here. We knew what happened the first time. It's an awfully familiar looking picture here. You can see that wind blowing the leaves as autumn is in full effect in the UK. Brilliant drill from Millfield to get up and disturb that one. It's a knock on, but Wellington keep possession. Great ball retention in that breakdown, but the referee pulls us up here. For the knock on, we're going to come back for the scrum to Wellington. Brilliant defence from the line out from Millfield. You see 2 jumpers getting up there, which is brilliant coordination and communication, not just the skill to be able to throw their player up in the air like that, but just managing to get both those lifting pods up at the front, only leaving Wellington the back of the line out, which they're never going to throw to in these conditions. It's risk and reward, but unfortunately in that risk and reward came a knock on from Millfield. So it's a scrum to Wellington. It's one apiece at scrum time, but this time they retain possession, playing into midfield, long pass, ball at the back, well read from the Millfield defence, but can't quite bring him down. Relies on his teammates to almost hold him up, and they're straight over the ball. It's the left winger with a turnover. Well done, Alfie Cheek. Snuck in and stole that ball there. Brilliant work. You love to see wingers getting involved in that. It's a brilliant defensive read from the back line to shift early. And the ball is missed touch. I can't quite see. Oh my, no way. Oh my goodness, it's gone all the way dead. Well, that is an indication of how windy it is here at Millfield today, as we see the sidelines packed, full of fans for this second game in the schools championship. With 10 minutes in, it's only 5-0 to Wellington, but they have definitely been playing in the right areas. And if that wins any indication, they've been doing well to do so, because it is firmly at the back of Millfield as they find themselves all the way back on their own 22. 2 kicking errors from the Millfield fly half. Not what you want to see, just putting pressure back on their defensive line. And it's a long pass to 13 out the back door. Again, in space goes the Wellington winger. They're shifting the ball brilliantly early on here, finding space well. But Millfield are on top in that physical battle up front. Ooh, bit of a disconnect in midfield, but it shut down the outside channel. Got in the passing lane really well and cut off that attack. Split field for Wellington. They can go both ways, but the scrum half decides to go himself. And he's isolated. It's the hooker, the vice captain, Freddie Beasley. Over that one. You always want to try and find your way into a split field position in rugby. Leaves the defence guessing which way you're going to go. And then you can pick the numbers on the shorter side. But on that occasion, no numbers were picked. And it was just a pick and go from the scrum half. Isolated, turnover, Millfield finally have an out. They can take a breath of relief there. And they've done well to escape without conceding any more points. And hopefully an opportunity to see them with ball in hand. We've seen their drill performing brilliantly at the line out on a defensive ball, but not quite going their way as they knock it again from the line out. Another big defensive set. Fortunately for them, though, this time up on their own halfway line. Wellington back on the attack. Playing through the fly half at the back door. Long ball again. It's another touch for Skinstad on the left wing. He's got plenty of involvements on this side early on. Into midfield. Oh, it's stripped! The Magicians picked a pocket and played a pass away, keeping the attack moving. Brilliant still from Alfie Seeley. He has been the standout for Millfield so far, and it's their turn on the attack, going to the wide channel. They got numbers. Brilliant hands to the outside. Can he finish? Of course he can, in the corner. What a score for Millfield, as they are well and truly back in this one. They've been under the pump early doors, but they found a way through the Wellington defence. And it's one entry to the red zone and one score from them. Ruthless. You can hear the Millfield supporters loved that one. Getting well behind their boys. T's not coming on though. Oh no, you'd hate to see this as a kicker. You're already on enough pressure with this shot clock, but when the T doesn't come on, it is squeaky bum time. It was Alfie Cheek in the corner to score Millfield's try. And now it's time for Sam Gill to see what he's got from the tee. It is a blustery day, I don't blame him. So the scores remain 5 points apiece. 15 minutes gone. And we have a battle on our hands here. I said it before the game, two stacked teams full of academy talent across the UK and France, with one player representing Brive, the hooker, Ben Kudzi of Wellington. What a restart. Steepling didn't travel the 10 though. Both teams struggling from the boot. But Millfield will be licking their lips at that, an opportunity to get back down the end they want to be playing rugby at. Rugby, of course, importantly a game of both possession but also territory. It's all well and good having the ball, but it's not sevens where you can run it the length of the field. In 15s, you have to be playing rugby in the right areas, and it takes the calmness and the decisiveness of typically your scrum half and your fly half, even at this young age level, to be those people to put their hands up and say, you know what lads, I've had enough of this, we're going to go down this end. Let's see what Millfield do with this one. It's set piece first and foremost though. Ball goes in from Oakley Neville, and it's taken away by the number 8. He's chopped down but not held in the tackle, gets back to his feet and carries on going, but he is holding on to that ball on the ground. It looked like no clear lift from the Wellington players, and their numbers short here on the open side, but they've managed to just about steal the ball at the breakdown. I think they threw everyone into that. That's why there was no numbers on the open side. And they're back on attack. Stacked shape here, go front door into a bit of space. Still exploiting that short side. The backs have a go down this time. It's Johnson to carry. The drum of Millfield is banging to call their troops to a rally here. Advantage. Seeley gives the penalty away on this occasion. He's been impactful in attack, ball in hand, but unfortunately on that occasion it wasn't even his fault. Apologies, Alfie. It was not your fault. There's no roll away at the breakdown, so although it was a fair competition from Seeley, it was actually a penalty because that competition was impeded by a Millfield player on the floor. And you saw the banana there, right? Oh my goodness, what a breeze that's blowing here today. All in favour of Millfield, and they've got to start capitalising on it sooner rather than later, because we're almost, well, just at the halfway point of this first half. That is a rolling clock you're seeing. We haven't had any stoppages yet, fortunately. So it should be fairly accurate, but not good looking for Millfield, as that wind will be blown in their face come the second half. Wellington to the front, win it, and they go back to the cow dries. Here we go. Oh, penalty advantage from the catch and drive, and they peel away. Great clear out from the scrum half. Just about retaining possession. They have advantage here. Let's see if they can make something of it. Going front door, just battering at that door, trying to find a way in. It's been the way round usually for them into those outside channels. But on this occasion, we go back for the penalty to Wellington. Oh my goodness, almost takes the head off of the Millfield scrum half Neville there. But you've got to drill it in these conditions. Keep it low as best you can. Danger time for Millfield. The alarm bells will be ringing here, but they need to keep their composure, as do Wellington, as the floodgates start to open here. Starting to get a bit wet. Oh, stolen at the front. It just goes the way of Wellington, but it's a long pass into midfield, just knocked on, falling away from the player, and we have a bit of wet falling here. It's not going to help the handling. Another reason why you want to be playing in the opposition end. I'd much rather either them or us be making a mistake down the other opposition's end rather than making one on our own try line. So it'll be interesting to see the decision making here of Sam Gill. Mixed day from the boot from him, but hopefully for his sake he can piece things together here as Wellington get a good squeeze onto the scrum. They turned it with an advantage. It was a knock on at the base from Millfield as Wellington turned the screw there. And again, another reason why you don't want to be making mistakes in your own half, because now it's a Wellington put-in. We've seen them turn the screw in the scrum here so far today. Can they take another opportunity? We see the midfield of Freddie Lomas and Will Johnson ready to fire into this one. Fullback Archie Lowe has had a bit of flair so far today, but can they do it in these wet conditions on a rainy Saturday afternoon? Arguably not, and it's Millfield with the breakaway. A foot race is on, but Wellington just get enough bodies back behind the ball and start to go the other way. A fortuitous breakaway for Millfield, but Wellington are their own demise at the moment. These wet conditions are going to start to hurt them now, as they just managed to hold on to the ball. Breakdown is heavily competitive so far today. Now it's interesting to see what the exit strategy of Wellington is going to be. So far, it is just Kutzi having a go up front, but they're going to have to get rid of this at some point. And they go to the box kick from the scrum half. He plays for Bath, Jack Thorpe, and you can see that ball holding up in the wind. No one putting a name on it for Millfield, but now it's the fullback, Archie Lowe, who starts to run it back. Oh, good shot from the open side flanker on the big Matt Palmer of Millfield. Interesting option from Gill, who's trying to trap the fullback behind his own goal line. Throws a loose pass. Who's going to dive on it first? It's the big second row who's just held up short. But they almost crash over. They are over. Are they held up? They are. Oh, goodness me. Wellington's coach must be pulling his hair out here, because they are their own demise for the last 5 minutes, forcing passes, and it turned out to be a brilliant tactical decision from Sam Gill to pin Wellington back. Perfect position for the kick as the fullback gathered it outside of his own goal line. So when he runs it back in, it is trouble, because if he dots it down, it's a scrum 5 to Millfield. But on this occasion, it's ended up that way anyway, as he threw a loose pass, and it's their turn to put the pressure on Wellington. Played into midfield, front door to the 13, who gets shut down by the combination of Hall and Bowen from Wellington. But they go back to the short side where all the forwards are waiting. It's a pick and go from the base from Seeley. Gets repelled by the Wellington defence. Big hearty effort here from them. to hold out Millfield with the wind at their back. Just short from Millfield, inches away from their second score here today. Scrum half digging it out. Is he going to throw a pass? It's the fly half, Giel having a go himself. Wellington just read that picture in time to turn him away. But they keep on knocking at the door. Danger looming as they look to play out the back here. Throwing some loose passes. Blindside winger gets connected, throws a pass to the outside. Can he stay in? He does just about, does Harry Paul. But they've gone from edge to edge here. You can see the disconnect in midfield for Wellington, but it's stripped on the floor. Miracle play here from Wellington. How have they picked the pocket of Seeley there? That's, oh, got to have a look at that. Was he playing the ball on the floor once the tackle was made? It matters not, because they won the ball back, but Millfield are back on the attack. This time a little further out. It's Archie Lowe running that one back. Penalty, Millfield. They tap and go early. Neville goes and just takes it forward, exploiting those retreating defenders. And they find themselves back where they once were. Beasley with a big carry. Can they find their way over this time? Given a second chance here by Wellington. They're 1 meter out again. They go out the back. Hands from the big man. Ball over the top. And of course, Alfie Cheek finds his way into the corner for a second. Doesn't say no to those ones. Good play from Millfield. Couldn't quite finish the first time of asking. But the second time round, they weren't turning that one away. Full 5 points in the corner. Exact same position for the conversion. Widget is back. Scrumat stays on. And it just gets pulled to the left-hand side. Kicking proving to be the difference so far today. Punishing Wellington with the wind in their face, but it's not going to be for much longer. You can hear the Wellington coaches rallying the troops to go and get back at Millfield here and try and close the gap as much as possible ahead of that second half. Only a 5-point game here. Millfield 10, Wellington 5, with just around 10 minutes left on this one in the first half. Wellington go deep. And Millfield running straight back through the middle. Opening the stride goes Ryan Flamigini, throws it to the outside. Chip and chase. He was absolutely demolished after kicking that one. Although referee says that he was committed to the tackle as Harry Paul, the youngster, gets blown into touch. But intelligent play from the Wellington fullback to call the mark there. But he's not managed to find touch, so it's pressure back on from Millfield as they stretch the ball from edge to edge. This game's starting to open up a little bit here as they are on top. It's Freddie Lomas carrying that one on the outside, and the skipper puts his hand up again to carry this one, chopped low by Wellington. They've got to hold on here. No option out the back for Millfield, but the front door is wide open from Wellington. And they take it, but the attacker running away from his own support there and just giving Wellington a sniff at the breakdown. And once they've got a sniff, they take the full bite and the ball with them. Another chance to exit here, taking no chances in this wind. Puts that into Rosed. Don't blame me. Get the ball off the park, reset, go again. Game starting to open up here. We saw the big man, Ryan Flamingini, going straight off the kickoff on that occasion. Straight through the middle. You love to see a second row open up like, I wish I could say a gazelle, but most likely a giraffe out in the open, getting hunted down by the Lions of Wellington. Just managing to pull him down, and they're back on the ball, peeling away off the line out, hitting the seam, and get turned back by a looming prop. It was Sid Moore who shut the door there. Straight in the face of Wellington, but it's offside from Wellington. Or was that in at the side? I didn't see the signal from the referee, but either way, Millfield have a chance to put this one deep, and they do. This time, Gill makes no mistake from the boot. Puts him about 20 meters out. And a chance to extend their lead, which they must do here with the wind at their back. It's going to be tough in the second half for them. So let's see what they can do with this. Oh, overthrown line out just over the fingertips. And it's a high tackle in midfield, so advantage to Wellington as the inside centre stays down. Dylan Hall getting hit in the face by his opposite number. Another chance to exit. Difficult conditions to find any sort of yardage. Decides to go to the right-hand side. You see the ball getting held up there. You see the trees in the background. I'm concerned for not just player welfare, but spectator welfare. Seeing the wind blowing those trees around. Got about 4 minutes left in this one. In the first half, Wellington just looking to hold on. A low-scoring first half, but plenty of rugby being played. This time, the drill's not quite there, but they've managed to retain possession. Oh, big bruising run. Oh, but knocked on the floor. But penalty to Wellington, not rolling away. Perhaps that's the reason for the knock on, just interfering with the ball placement. So it's another penalty. The penalty count really picking up here against Millfield. That must be at least 4 of the last 5 penalties going the way of Wellington, and they just start to creep their way out of danger up towards the Millfield try line. They're now in Millfield territory, which is a great relief from where they were parked on their own line. You can hear the Millfield coaches shouting to midfield partnership of Freddie Lomas and Will Johnson to stay connected as Wellington just knock it on. No flow to their attack from set piece ever since that opening score. In reality, they can't quite find the platform to build their attack. As nice as it is to have some free-flowing play and plenty of shape and attack, the game always starts with a set piece, be it kickoff, scrum or line out. So if you can't get that bit right, you're in for a tough day. Let's see what Millfield can do with those. It is tough conditions, especially from the line out. With the scrum, Wellington turned the screw. Oh, and Millfield somehow smuggled that away as their number 8 bumps off the Wellington midfield, traveling a good 20 meters across the field there. How he's able to reach that wide is interesting, but when you're throwing the ball around loose like that, you've got to be able to capitalize on these moments. If you see your number 8 going across the field, it's not necessarily the worst thing in the world, but what makes it a good carry is what comes next. If you can trap those forwards from Wellington on the short side and play round the corner again, then you're going to be on top. But if you throw loose passes like that, you're only going to give the ball back to Wellington. good drills again from both sides. This time Wellington taking the ball with them, and it's a vocal second rower. It's Pippo Horrell of Bath steering that one off the top. Oh, held up by Giel in midfield. It's got a knee to ground. Wellington looking a little bit disconnected here, potentially searching for the half-time whistle as they're just getting forced back, wind in their face. Giel again in the contact area, strips it. He's not afraid of getting involved and mixing it with the big fellas. Probably explains the scrum out, but it's a big shot, but ball away. Brilliant work. Slick hands, but it's another turnover from Seeley. Well done, sir. Oh, but it's stripped. He's had the ball stripped himself. He's probably so tired from stripping it from Wellington. He can't quite hold on to it. Oh, intercept! It's picked off by the skipper, who's mowed down by the Wellington fly half, just getting across there, saving his team, surely. But it's Millfield back on this one as we cross over into the half-time. It is a rolling clock, so we might not quite be there, but Millfield certainly almost are over the Wellington line. They just throw the ball out in front of the players, and Archie Lowe says, I'll do it myself, fellas. Head down, pins the inside shoulder, crosses the whitewash and dots it down for Millfield. Opportunistic. Well, you didn't quite see that one coming, as Wellington were holding on to the ball just. I mentioned they didn't look like they had any sort of urgency to try and score a try, and sometimes when you don't have that mentality, you find yourself losing the ball. They then won it back, obviously, but then an intercept picked off. A brilliant read by the skipper, Alex Yeasley. Ran it down, but was mowed down by Sam Watson-Nee, the Wellington fly-half, getting back, making a good tackle, but they stretched it. They've done well in that left-hand corner so far today, and it's another opportunity from the boot for Giel, who's getting involved in this one, but can't quite manage to land the extras, so it remains 15 points to 5. Millfield taking the lead in this first half. What a first half we've had. It's had a bit of everything. The physicality in both attack and defense, but it's going to be the technical, the tactical masterclass of the fly-halves to steer their ship in the right direction in that first half, and definitely coming into this second, as I'm assuming the wind will continue to blow. As we take a nice break in to the halftime, just like to thank you for joining us. If you're watching live on the stream, my name is Ollie Johnson, and if you fancy a shout out for anyone who you're watching, then just drop us a message. It's at Rugby with OJ on social media. Drop me a message and I'll be sure to get to the shout outs. I know plenty of people would like to watch at home who can't quite make the trip down along the M3 from London to Millfield. And another massive shout out that I've got is a very, very exciting announcement from TSC. It's the Invitational 15. So not only shall these boys on the pitch be playing for some silverware come the end of the season, but also an opportunity to go over to Abu Dhabi to play in the World Schools Festival. Taking players from each team competing here today, as well as the likes of Sedbergh and Clifton in last weekend's games, over to Abu Dhabi to take on some international giants of schoolboy rugby. So keep your eyes peeled for that. There'll be plenty more rolling out on the social medias. Make sure you follow along. We have the likes of Paul Roos from South Africa participating, as well as Schools from Fiji and New Zealand so far announced, plenty more to come there. But so far in this one, it's a 10-point lead for Millfield over Wellington, as Wellington took an early lead, but Millfield came straight back in, scoring 3 unconverted tries to Wellington's 1. It's 15-5 at halftime. I'll see you after the break. I hope you enjoyed your very short break as we are back underway here. Wellington making no mistake there from the restart. Wind at their back in this second half. It's going to play a massive part. Let's see how they can manage it. Sometimes playing with the wind, it's mentally challenging because you think, let's just play in the right areas. Let's just kick down the other end of the field. You stop playing, and then they start to drop more players back there. But on this occasion, they've won the ball at the line out against the throw of Millfield, and it's their chance to attack here. Good shape, plenty of stacked numbers off the fly half. Haven't seen much more from Wellington in that first half after their opening score, but this time they're playing at the back door, all the way to the left edge. Skinstead again having another touch on the ball. He got plenty in the first 10 minutes, but he just didn't have enough ball to get it to him for the rest of that second half. But now they are knocking at Millfield's door, playing off fly half, just getting caught behind the gain line. Got to have a bit of quick ball here to exploit the edges. Ball at the back. Hands to the edge, but getting caught a bit flat. No injection of pace in that outside channel to fix defenders, and they're just drifting to contain the attack. But they're still managing to make some yards here by Wellington, keeping the ball, throwing some loose passes, but again, coast to coast, drifting to the outside goes the inside centre. It's Dylan Hall just carrying and almost breaking free there. Big carry against the grain, but it gets forced back into the breakdown by Millfield. Very even game on our hands here today. We are being treated to 2 teams at the top of it, going at it. Big carry slipping through, 2 tacklers there. Got to get hip to hip as defenders if you want to make those 2-man shots. Oof. Relentless from Wellington as they really start this second half fast. Speaking of which, fast break to the outside. It's number 20, Wellington. I believe Tom Chapman off the bench, hoping to inject some speed, clearly. Holding on to the ball must be to... Oh, commentators curse there as they're stripped to the breakdown, and running it back goes the brace scorer for Millfield. Alfie Cheek scored 2 in that left-hand corner in the first half. Big carry, Matt Palmer again. Oh no, my apologies. It's Freddie Beasley, the vice-captain of Bath. Ball at the back. All on a slant, but just finding some space. Brilliant out the back offload. And pinning his ears back goes Paul just dragged down, but Millfield have done brilliantly to run the ball from 22 to 22. Gil has a go again himself. He's not afraid of the contact area. Oh, good carry, not held in the tackle, so he's allowed to crawl along the floor. Millfield find themselves 10 metres out after a fast start from Wellington. Wind's in their face, but it's not slowing the sails as a kick to nothing comes in from the inside centre and it's just swept up. You see some tired bodies out there already. This passage has been going on for a long time. I'm sure Wellington will be looking for the sideline. Oh, almost charged down. Ball not out. We're carrying on here. I'm losing my breath and I'm not even moving. Oh, Millfield back on the attack, throwing it around. Got to find some shape here. Got to have some composure. Led by Gil. Here he is on the ball. Oh, throws a loose pass, but it finds the hands of the fullback. Archie Lowe running it in. Oh, obstruction. Just some tired bodies out there getting in each other's way. Potentially seeing a tactical knee there from the second row, tying his boots up. Just a chance to catch their breath. Must find touch. And does a big touch finder there. You can see the wind blowing the trees and the ball all the way down. He's gone from one end to the other, and it's Wellington's turn to have that wind at their back. Not looking to kick the ball away. It was somewhat of a kick to nothing from Millfield. Almost ran out of ideas. Potentially the fatigue building up, influencing decision making, and just not quite executing. On this occasion, it is Wellington's throw, and they win it in the middle and go to the catch and drive. The reliable for them so far this game. They've made at least 10 metres of every single one so far, and this is much the same as they are tearing through the midfield pack. Millfield just slowing them down here, but they're still marching on. Just drops to the deck. Must have been a call from the referee. Don't know why he did that. Oh, the wind having its effects again. Good leg drive on front. Definitely off his feet there, Mr. Sir. Lets the ball come after slowing it down. Give Millfield a chance to reset. Long pass to the outside. Missed tackle. Ball thrown inside. Flag goes up from the assistant referee. Looks a little bit more like a lino on this occasion, but the flag goes up. Fair call. Almost made it in the corner. Both teams not managing to finish their dinner so far in this second half. Both looking dangerous, both with opportunities, but none with scores so far. Millfield, pressure on still. Ball lost, just swept up at the back. Is it taken over? It is, and we know, we've seen so far this second half how dangerous the Wellington pack can be. They've got some big boys in there, a lot of academy contingents. We've got, just to remind you of the team sheet, it's Prady, Kutzi, and Houghton in the front rows. Kutzi of Breve and Houghton of Quins. In the two row, we have Hurl and Allen, both of Bath. Zach Hayner is also alongside Will Courtney of Quins, and the skipper, Charlie McKay, at number 8, is about to slingshot himself into this one. Millfield answering the call of Wellington there. Gil just slips a tackle. Oh, downward pressure. Just crept his way over, and he's barking back at the Millfield defence. Over goes the inside centre, Dylan Hall. A brilliant carry, never gave up after the initial contact of Gil. Just slipped off that tackle, found his way in behind the defence and just kept alive. Didn't die with it. Once you feel the initial contact, you don't have to give up. You can keep on powering your legs through, and that is exactly what Dylan Hall did there. One out rugby sometimes does the job, especially in these windy conditions. Millfield will be asking questions. not of their defense, but of their tackle execution. But regardless of that, it is 15 points to 10. Kick to come. And it bisects the posts. Making no mistake on this occasion is Sam Watson-Nee. Pops that one over, and they're back within 3. As long as there's downward pressure on the ball, try can be given, even if it slips forward out of the grasp as that downward pressure is applied. Makes no difference, hence the score there from the referee. Deep restart from Millfield, brilliant kickoff, but ran back by Wellington. A kick is, of course, only as good as its chase. On that occasion, a lot of questions to be asked of that first up tackle. Oh, brilliant shots come in from Wellington as they're rallied by the sidelines. And they're flying through on this one. Brilliant dummy, though. Found a bit of space. Off goes the inside centre. Freddie Lomas finds Harry Paul. The young lad from Wales gets driven back. Wellington were really looking to enforce themselves after that kick chase, but just the skill of Lomas to find some space there. Oh, big carry. You saw him running up for that one. Goes Sid Moore. Oh, again, you see the body position of these lads coming into contact. It's Premiership-esque from Millfield. Gill decides to hold on to this one and get some yardage for it as Wellington flew up on the outside. And oh, loose play, and Wellington scoop it up, and it's the second row, puts that on the boot. Big chase on the way here. What can Millfield do to deal with it? He's knocked it over his own dead ball line. Scrum 5, Wellington. They're just putting the ball in the right places, even if it's a bit scrappy in the process. The second rower, I believe, it was Ben Allen on that occasion, darting that one back. Oh no, I can see you getting a pat on the back here from his second row partner, Ben Allen. It must have been Pippo Horrell putting that one on the toe. And Millfield just couldn't quite manage to deal with it, sending it back behind their own goal line. As we've seen some changes here from Wellington at half-time. Number 18, John T. Wilson of Harlequins joins the Wellington pack on the blind side, as well as number 16 on at loosehead, Tom Miners. We've seen Wellington dominating at set piece from the catch and drive and the scrum. Will they just give the ball out to the danger man, Dylan Hall, again to creep his way over? You can see the scrum half. Jack Thorpe. Been slightly quiet this game so far, having a chat with his number 8. I feel like I know what's coming here. Charlie McKay's at the back of this one, and indeed, brilliant chop tackle, but not quite enough from Sam Gill, really putting his body in the way of things here today. But it's just not quite enough power to stop the big skipper of Wellington. Charlie McKay crashes his way over. You saw the comms come in from the scrum half, Jack Thorpe. And he said, off you go, mate. We know where this is going. Route 1 over the try line. Tackle selection is so important in those situations. Everywhere else in the field, you love to see a fly off, diving at the ankles, putting the head amongst the spokes to make a chop tackle. But on those occasions, as difficult as it is as a smaller man on a bigger man, you've got to try and go up top, at least wrap it up, because they can just go over the top of that chop tackle, as we saw there, and crash their way over. Pressure's on here, wind blowing this ball around. Can Sam Watson-Nee deal with it? He did the first time around, and he has the second, just using the wind to guide that one through. You can see the posts being blown all over the place, but it does not bother Sam Watson near, and it's his boot who have put Wellington into the lead here. 2 conversions, the difference between these two sides. And it seems to be the boot deciding this one today. Sam Gill doing well again to hit that hard into the wind. That's a tough kickoff, and a brilliant chase this time from Millfield. Trying to get a bit of possession. They've been starved of it. And Wellington have been scoring plenty of meat pies. Easy for them just to blast this down the field. But this time, running it back, off goes Archie Lowe to the races, pins the ears back to the outside. Cover defense just comes across and it's knocked on. Oh, he did so much well there. You can see himself hitting himself on the leg in frustration as he did everything right until that final pass. Frustrations ringing out amongst the Millfield lads. Archie Cheek was gunning for that one on the outside, but unfortunately knocked on by Ryan Flamghini. Oh, you hate to see it after such a brilliant break. But it's got the crowd to life here. And it's their scrum. My apologies, I thought it was a Millfield knock on, but the ref says otherwise, and it's Millfield playing into midfield. Ball out the back, sloppy execution. Ball being thrown around. They've lost their shape here. Someone's going to take control of this one from Millfield. It's not quite an uphill battle, but it's an into the wind one. And they are looking a little flustered because of it. Not quite finding their shape. Set piece, as I mentioned, is so important in rugby to win first and foremost, but for the back line to execute on scrum strikes, you practice every training session. It is a coach's nightmare when you practice these reps over and over again, but when it comes to a game, the pressure just turns up a little bit. You have a big defensive line in your face, and it just goes to pot a little bit. I wonder if they'll go back to route one here, as we saw Wellington do to score their third. Ball comes in from Neville, and they do indeed. Off the back goes the skipper. Gill cleaning him out. To the short side they go. Getting caught a little bit narrow though there, Cheek. Wants to hold his sideline. Goes looking for work as the forwards start to stick their hands up, but it's turned over and Wellington go bang down the field. Ball's played quickly from the line out, and it's the danger man again. Bounces back to the short side, but this time is just scragged by a brilliant chase from the replacement, and the penalty goes the way of Wellington. You can feel the momentum shifting their way in this one. We warned Millfield going into the back end of that first half that they had to run a lead up because that wind is at the back of Wellington, and it is in their sails, leading them down towards the Millfield try line. You can see the Linos ref blowing in the breeze there. Got to look to the 16th man, do Millfield with their home advantage here to try and hold out Wellington. Still only 4 points in it. A score will do it. But you worry for Millfield if Wellington find a way over here. And they've gone back to the catch and drive. Alarm bells ringing for Millfield. We know how dangerous Wellington are up front. Spinning out the back. Oh, gets sat down, does the Millfield scrum off, and crashing over goes Ben Kutzi. Again, tackle execution. It's been their downfall in this second half. We saw, first of all, Dylan Hall crashing over from one pass out off the scrum. Then we saw no passes from Charlie McKay, the skipper, off the back of the scrum. And on this occasion, it's the hooker. Ben Kutzi, the vice-captain, the man from Brive. Bouncing. Unfortunately, Neville, who attempted to make a good shot, but he just rode it. He just managed to stay clear and score the 5, which is going to stay that way. Still a way back into the game here for Millfield, but they're going to have to start playing some more inventive rugby if they're going to find a way over the whitewash. Because right now, the territory is going to be hard to come by into this breeze. They've got to bring some new life. We can see the tight head, Matt Palmer, bringing some life to it. Let's see if his team can get around him for it. Steepling restart. That has gone miles into the air, and it's won back by Millfield. What a kickoff. But it's a mess at the breakdown. Getting a bit complacent there, assuming it's their own, and it's not anymore, as Wellington have turned it and just go route 1. And you can imagine here, although it's a bit flat, oh, just charged down, but it's a knock on. Bouncing ball is hard to pick up. Not for Wellington on the outside. Again, just a few handling errors creeping into this one. A degree of frustration flowing into it now from Millfield, pushing the back. We don't mind it. We don't mind it. Calm down, lads. Goodness. A bit of back and forth here coming between a few of these lads, which I assume know each other from Academy Rugby. We do love a bit of competitiveness, a bit of chat from side to side. Got about 10 to 15 minutes left to go in this one. The Millfield crowd loved the first half, but a little quieter here. You can still hear that drum beating as it's their turn to attack. Long pass into midfield, coming around the back, and it's the 2 try scored. Turns on the wheels, but again is caught narrow. If he catches that ball in that wide channel and runs straight and square, he might find himself on the outside, but he's got a lot of questions to ask there because he's just on the out. Defense can just drift with him. Big carry from Palmer. The big man done well today. Got through a full 60 minutes so far. Just a little loss of shape again. Hospital pass. Ball's knocked on. Millfield just losing their shape. Just getting caught a bit narrow. Every run that you are seeing so far from them in attack all has an outward arc on it. They're all running towards the sideline. The problem with that is that it just allows the Wellington defence to drift with them. The classic saying is that the sideline never misses the tackle. So if you can show them anywhere towards it, it's going to make your life a whole lot easier. Whereas what you want to see, and what we have seen, in fairness, from Wellington in their attack when they've moved the ball, especially in that first half, is going hard and square at the defender's inside shoulder and playing the ball at the back. And that only comes from setting initial width, and that's what Giel has done there to shut the door on the Wellington defence. But it's an easy answer for them to boot it down the other end, but the wind this time proving to be their adversary and bitten off a little bit more than they should have been chewing on there, and it's all the way back for a scrum to Millfield. Let's see if they can bring a bit more spark to their attack. Looking to the likes of Alfie Seeley in that first half, who is denting the defence. The skipper as well, Alex Yeebsley. And hopefully a bit of energy from Caden Hughes off the bench here on that blind side. Got to carry a bit of that load in the carrying department. Oh, ball just away, and it's off into midfield goes the skipper again. Usually loves that rangy run into midfield, and they get around the corner well this time, but so do Wellington. The open side making a tackle all the way off the back of that scrum goes Will Courtney. But through the middle goes Gill! Puts on the afterbalance to the outside! Is he going to make it over? I don't know! He did! He did! Oh, just found his way over there, and he's brought some life back to Millfield. He has been the man for them so far today. Struggling slightly off the boot, but you can forgive him for that in these conditions. But what you can see from him there is just the ability to mix it with the big boys, putting the head down, back in his running game and finding his way over. Similar to the score of Dylan Hall. Downward pressure applied to the ball, popped it forward. Not a knock on because the try's already been scored. Now it's his time to try and add the extras to bring this one within 2 points. Ooh, almost charged down. But we have a game on our hands here. 10 to go. 2 points in it. Millfield out of almost nowhere there. Find a way straight through the middle of the Wellington defence. Find a way back into this one. It's 24 points to 22 to the away side. And I know what I'm doing in this situation. Just deal with it down that end of the field. And that they do. All the way to the back corner, looking to exit early here. And a good touch found. Really well exited from Neville there. Takes the opposition back to the 10-meter line, but importantly with the ball. They're the ones in control here, you'd hope, unless Millfield can really turn the screw here at set piece and in defence. Being called to war here by the rallying tribe on the sideline, but it's just knocked on. We've seen them get up so well at the front and middle of the line out, but they just can only get one hand to it. And that hand is facing the wrong direction to knock it forwards. Brilliant communication and collaboration between those lads to get the players up in there. They're really disturbing Wellington's ball at line out, but just not getting the rub of the green. Wellington now back on the attack. We have seen them march forward on the scrum. And I wonder what number 8 Charlie McKay is thinking here. The skipper already found his way over once from short range. We do have a rolling clock here at TSC, so it looks like we've got about 10 minutes left of this one, around that. But don't take your eyes off this one, as it's 2 points in it. Paul squirts at the back, and it's just head down from the try scorer, Dylan Hall. And his forwards get around him. Don't look like they're going to try and throw too many passes here. Just zigzagging back and forth. Oh, an extra roll there on the ground, preventing the competition at the breakdown. And Millfield have a way back into this one. A chance here to get into opposition territory. Just stabs it forward. Really intelligent kick from Gill. Just to keep it low. Hopefully sheltered a little bit by the grandstand over there. Got to be clinical here. Got to take control of this if they want a chance to come away with their first win of the season in the TSC. Balls all the way back to their own 50 here. They've got a long way to go. The Wellington travelling support have really come in numbers and in full voice. You love to hear it. The chants going back and forth from both sets of supporters on the sideline as we've got 2 minutes left in this one. Wellington holding on desperately to their 2-point lead. Oh, picked off at the front, but sacked is the scrum half. Still under pressure. They've got a long way to go here and not a lot of time left to do it. Slightly pre-bound, but good carry regardless from Seeley. The old-fashioned counter-ruck. Almost winning the ball back for Wellington. But Millfield are just clinging on to possession here. And out of their grasp, slowly slips any way back into this one. But they're going to look to play. It is the danger man, Archie Lowe's, found his way forward in the outside channel. They're up to the 40, less than a minute to go. They've got to play out the back, here we go. Slings the ball out to the skipper. Down the sideline, here goes Easley. Needs some momentum off that edge, they don't find it. Referee blows his whistle. Injury. Just thought I'd let you enjoy that one from the travelling support from, if you can hear that, Wellington. Drowning out the home support here. You love to hear that in schoolboy rugby. Once the younger age grades finish their game, coming over and supporting the lads on the first 15 field. Oh, it's a tap and go here. The referee waves back Millfield. Sorry, Wellington. Here we go. Into the last passage. Millfield on the ball. They sniff a comeback win in this second half, but they're going to have to go 50 meters to do it. Can Giel steer his team back over the whitewash once more? Not. If Wellington are over the ball, it's Will Courtney who comes away with it. And most likely the win for Wellington. A brilliant turnover. You saw him lift not only the ball, but the player holding onto it on the floor. Clear, easy call for the referee. Sharp blow of the whistle, penalty to Wellington, and they find themselves back in Millfield territory. And with the ball, it's looking less and less likely for the boys in red, white, green and blue. It's the boys in black and yellow. Black and yellow on the ascendancy here. Just looking to close this one out. Oh, stolen at the front again. The defensive drill from Millfield has kept them in this and given them a chance. Big carry through the midfield. Oh, just got to find their shape. Got to find some inside shoulders to pin. You can see the forwards getting a bit sluggishly back involved in the game, but good carry, bit of momentum. This is what they need. This is the spark. Playing off the fly off, out the back. Here's a bit of space in the outside channel. Can they get a ball to it? No, just getting caught a little flat. Oh, picking and going. Goes the scrum half. Neville's had a good game today. And so's Giel as well. And the big man, the three of them in the core of that team. Usually does well. And they find themselves back on the opposition 40. We've been here a lot of times before. Can they hold on to the ball this time? I'm watching out for number 7 of Wellington. And he's nowhere near that one, and it's a penalty. Will Courtney, the danger man, to the Millfield attack to stifle their possession. But on this occasion, referee blows his whistle, and Giel stabs it deep. Does really well again to get any sort of distance on that in the wind he is faced with. Although it looks like it's died down a little. Hence potentially why the handling has improved slightly. And we have a big finish to this one. Don't take your eyes off it. We're into overtime and it's 2 points in it. Millfield need anything here. And they'll snatch victory from the claws of defeat. Oh, Peel around the front. Off goes the skipper. On his range he runs. We've seen him go all day. He's going all the way to midfield. Passes outside in the corner. I can't believe it. It's Alfie Cheek for the hat trick. For the win for Millfield. Silencing Wellington supporters. I've lost my voice as much as that Wellington lad has. What a score. What a little start down the short side. The peel from the front of that line out caught Wellington off guard, and I can't believe how far Usually managed to run there. Big kick here though. Oh, two of them going early doors. You'd think he gets a chance to retake it if he misses. Right. Oh God, my heart is in my mouth. 3 points in it. Wellington, after being in control for the whole of this second half, have found themselves now behind on the scoreboard. It is now in the hands of the referee in terms of timing this one. But Millfield now have the wind in their face, but somehow in their sails, as they've got a bit of spark about them now. Just looking to hold onto the ball. It's a passive carry, and Wellington flood through, going for the classic counter-ruck rather than the jackal, and off their feet they go. A mess at that breakdown, and seems like their last chance has gone begging. Taps the ball, and it's Giel who wins the game for Millfield out of somewhere, nowhere. He may not have been the best off the boot for them from the tee, but he managed to steer the team into what seemed to be a godly headwind, and just managed to snatch the win for Millfield. What a game. It promised so much before due to the calibre on the team sheets, and it delivered. And you can see what it means to Millfield. Wellington brought everything to that, along with a whole bus of support, but it wasn't quite enough. They will be frustrated for letting that one slip, because they had everything going for them in that second half, and they just couldn't see it out. What a game between these two. And believe it or not, it's only the third in the schools championship. 5 wins in a row for Millfield against Wellington, I'm told. That is a stat that haunts the black and yellow and means so much to these boys you see on screen right now. And they were out of it. Even I thought it was a long way back, and it sure was, but they kept on plugging away. and by the end of it deserved the win. Led by the skipper, Alex Yeebsley, carrying from the base of scrums, putting his head over it. The defensive line-out must be noted from Millfield. Alfie Seeley, who was carrying well in the game as well, but partnered by Ryan Lamghini, getting the ball back for Millfield. Double pod lifts throughout that second half, disturbing the ball and proved to be the difference. But the difference maker most of all, Sam Giel, will be my man of the match. What a performance from him, running his own try in, steering the ship after a tough start for him. A couple of kicks didn't go his way. One went dead, one was short from the restart, but it didn't stop him. He just kept on steering the ship and throwing some seeds to that left-hand corner. The hero, Alfie Cheek, will get all the plaudits. Hat-trick for him here at home in Millfield, who take the win. 27 points to 24 over Wellington College. Thank you so much for watching along. I hope you enjoyed that as much as I did. What a game. We roll on to the next round of the Schools Championship coming up on the 11th of October. It's Millfield again, this time away to Clifton, who suffered a bruising defeat at the hands of Sedba a couple weeks ago. Both teams with a lot to prove. Millfield off the back of a win, but playing away from home. Clifton, a tough place to go. I cannot wait to bring that one to you. But until then, enjoy the rest of your weekends. Travel home safe, Wellington, and we'll see you in the rounds to come. Thank you so much for watching. I've been Ollie Johnson. I'll see you in the next one.